Today on TacNerd, we are unboxing and breaking down one of Smith and Wesson's most popular carry revolvers, maybe the most popular carry revolver in the world. That is the Smith and Wesson 642, and this is the Pro Series. Folks, stay attention. We're going to break this down. We're going to undo the unboxing and show you the wonders that is the 642 Pro. Stay tuned. Screen Azantes, welcome video lovers, welcome to TacNerd 1.0. Fellow humans, today we are unboxing and premiering this 642 Pro Series. Important thing to point out, there are not a lot of video reviews of the Pro Series. Don't know why that is, not sure, but this is what we have, so this is what we're going to show you. This is a lightweight, snag-free J-frame revolver with some pretty nice upgrades. So let's take a closer look. First, the unboxing. And that is the first thing that sets this apart, actually. You go out and get a normal 642 stainless or blued, you're going to get a box, just a cardboard box.
What's in the box?
This one, the Pro Series, comes in Smith and Wesson's. It's their pretty standard hard case. Their blue hard case. So opening it up, the first thing we see, Smith's famous wax paper. Now, I don't know if you get those in the cardboard box versions or not. It does come with this one, and I will tell you, of course, if you do not know, save this paper. Don't throw it out. It is important. You want to keep your pistol, your revolver wrapped in that. It's very important. What else do we have here? First, we have... that is the protective cylinder. We have moon clips, and that is another thing that sets this one apart. We'll get to that a little bit more, but you do get 3 moon clips. That is important. You also get in here, you get your cable lock, of course. You get your regular books and stuff, all of that. Smith gives you a pretty nice manual. I would recommend going over it. That is about it, really. And of course, you get the revolver, which here it is. This is the 642 Pro Series, and this one is in stainless, although it's not really stainless because, believe it or not, the majority of it is made of aluminum. It is just the cylinder and the barrel, and of course the trigger and the internals that are metal. Specifically, the cylinder and the barrel are stainless. Now, you can get this one in black. I think in that case, I think it's just painted black aluminum.
The word is anodized.
They do come standard with this boot grip. And you can get a pretty good handle on it with these. But I will tell you, I'm not keeping these. I ordered a set of VZ grips. They're high horn, so they come up over. I like that specifically because it lets me get some space in the wedge of my grip here. I think that's going to give me a better gripping platform. All right, so let's go through some of the specs of the 642 Pro. Some of you probably know these already, but I'm going to tell you. The 642, it is, of course, 38 Special, not the band. 38 Special, the cartridge. It can fire plus P. Now, a lot of these, it'll say plus P only in emergency or whatever. But you can shoot plus P in it. Most people are not going to feed a revolver like this a steady diet of plus P ammo. Barrel length is 1.875 inches. Capacity is 5 shots. There you go. There are your 5 shots. And that is all you get. The frame is an aluminum alloy. Cylinder is stainless steel. It is double action only. You have no hammer. I'm sorry, it's not there. All you get is your trigger. Sights. You get the integral front sight, and You basically just get the bowling alley weight. It is 15 ounces unloaded, and folks, that pretty damn light, I will tell you. A lot of that is because of the aluminum. So a little bit of history. Now, of course, I'm going to have to give you some history, but it's okay. It'll go quick. But it's stuff you should know. The 642 traces its lineage back to the Model 42 Airweight, and that was first introduced in 1950. The Pro Series is a variant that brings a few modern enhancements to the table. We've already talked about some of those. We'll go through some again. Pro Series specifically was introduced by Smith and Wesson in the early 2000s to offer factory upgraded guns with some performance tweaks. The cut cylinder for moon clips, the improved trigger work, and the cleaner finishes. We're going to get to that as well. So first off, let's talk about moon clips. Now you can see from that cylinder right there, you can see that little edge right there. That is what allows the moon clips to go in. Now I am hoping that YouTube is going to allow me to show you these, but just in case, now I'm not going to show me loading them because I'm sure YouTube wouldn't like that. All right, now I am only going to load 2 of these in here just so you can kind of see what goes on with these moon clips. There are 5 spots in here. You basically just put the rounds inside there, and then when you go to load, you can kind of just slip those down in. Now these being snap caps, they're not going to go all the way down. So, but that is pretty much how moon clips work. And the other nice thing is that when you go to reload, they all come out at once. And then when you're ready to put those in again, you can pretty much just drop in a new moon clip. All right, so those just go right down in like that. So we'll get more to reloading and different reloading mechanisms that you can use with revolvers when we do the range footage. There are a couple different things you can use. By the way, you should also, I will show you this as well, but I have to do this off screen. You can just load rounds in just regular. You don't have to use the moon clips. Okay. And when you take those out, they come out normally. So it's something that I have used before. I used moon clips before when I had my governor, and I did IDPA with that, believe it or not. I really liked the idea of moon clips. I think they work well. The only problem that you have with those, and I will tell you, is that carrying them can be a little wonky, because if you think about it, you've got this thing in your pocket with all these rounds in it, and it's a little, like I said, it's a little difficult to carry. I wouldn't say necessarily any more difficult than speed loaders, but still it's kind of something. So that's one of the first big upgrades that it gives you. That means you can reload faster with those moon clips. The alloy frame keeps the weight down, and the stainless steel barrel and cylinder give you added strength where it matters. Also, as most of you probably know, stainless steel easier to clean and much less likely to corrode and rust, although it's still possible. Keep that in mind. That is important. Rust can happen even on stainless steel. Early production models did include the controversial internal lock. Yes, also called the Hillary hole, the much hated and maligned Hillary hole. If this one had one, it would be right there, but this one does not. The Pro Series specifically does not have the internal frame lock. So good to know. If you don't want one of those, get the Pro Series. There is another one out there. You should know it is I think it's the Ellipses edition. It's a special edition. I believe it's called the Ultimate Carry 642, something like that. Now that one does have removable sights, and it does have some U-notches back here as well. I don't know if that one comes with or without the frame lock. I can tell you, I don't believe the Ultimate Carry is cut for moon clips, and that is primarily why I got this one. Also got this one because it is quite a bit less than the Ultimate Carry version by quite a bit, actually. I would say almost 200 quatlus. So This one is something to consider. If you are prepping on a budget or something like that, this is probably a good choice to carry. And this is a good, believe it now, this is, again, this is a carry piece, but it's a good prepping piece too, because this is pretty much something that you can have on you all the time. I mean, look at the size of that. I don't have giganto hands, but that pretty much, you know, that pretty much conceals most of it right there. And the cool thing about these, with it being no snag like this, you can pretty much just fit these in your pocket. Now, there's always those stories out there about bobbed hammers or no hammered revolvers that you can shoot through fabric. I'm sure that's possible. I don't know how much that's going to come up, but if you're in the wasteland and being attacked by mutants and you've got a hoodie on, you can shoot through that hoodie and pop off those mutants. So what about ammo compatibility? Now, we did talk a little bit about that. It's 38 special, pretty much. You can do plus P. As far as sights, the sights are basic. It's a fixed front ramp and, like I said, just the trough rear sight. Not exactly ideal for long distance, but that's not what these are about. I think you get what I'm laying down. All right, so again, acceptable types of ammo. You've got your regular pressure 38 specials. You've got plus P. You've got hollow points you can use in it. You can use wad cutters for practice. Pretty much anything out there. And 38 special, not as available as it used to be, but it's still pretty much any sporting goods store you go to should have them. They are going to be more expensive than 9mm. Yes, that's true, but you can find them. And believe it or not, there's some new federal punch ammo out there that's relatively inexpensive and from all things I understand, pretty effective. We're going to try to get some of that and test it on some milk jugs. So let's talk next about ergonomics and the trigger. Now, I didn't bring my trigger gauge out here specifically because I'm going to tell you it's not really going to matter. My trigger gauge tops out at 8 pounds. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is a at least 10 to 12 pound trigger. But that being said, it is a darn smooth trigger. And I know a lot of you may think that kind of is an oxymoron, but it really does make sense when you get down to it. Even though the trigger pull is harder, it is smooth. So watch that front sight. There is no pull. That trigger pull is just smooth all the way back. It is one of the nice things, as I said, with this Pro Series trigger, even though it is a bit long and it is heavy, it glides really nice. It's a really, really nice trigger. Now you can get some Wilson Combat spring kits and you can bring that down even further if you would like to. Uh, Remains to be seen if that's something I will do. The Pro Series trigger really is quite nice. I will tell you that. The grip. Now, they do give you this plastic rubbery boot grip. The grip is compact and secure. It's enough for 2 fingers, good texture. You can always swap it out for something smaller. I will tell you that one of the reasons I am swapping it out is because of this rubbery feeling. It's going to be a little hard to get that in and out of clothing. So, just telling you, if you want something else that's smoother that you can get in and out of clothing, I would get like wood grips or like the VZ grips that are not checkered. Don't get the checkered ones. I would just get the smooth ones. That'll help you get it in and out of clothing a little quicker. Depends on how you're going to carry it. A lot of people will go to boot carry or something like that. You can carry it obviously, certainly you can carry it on your hip. You can appendix carry with these. If you do that, probably this rubber grip is going to be fine for you. So again, as far as concealability goes, these 642s and especially this Pro Series, they really do shine at that deep concealment roll. Only 15 ounces, you barely feel this in your pocket. And there's something about the way these look. Now, you can even get pocket holsters for them. It just makes it look like a wallet or something like that. It really doesn't print nearly at all. And even if you just put it in your pocket regularly, which I don't know if I would suggest that, it really doesn't show much. It's one of the legendary bonuses of the J frame. So, okay, folks, so what's next? Well, we're going to get out to the range as soon as we can. We'll get some. Again, I want to show you some different loads you can do with these. We're going to do some milk jugs, as I said, and we'll do some loading, and we'll do some testing on how quick we can load with the moon clips, with a standard twist reloader. We'll do some of the Bianchi strips. There's another new reloader. I think Bianchi makes that one too. Looks kind of like the old ones, but it's kind of a strip. I'll show you later. But we'll get out there and we'll go over those as well. The other thing, I touched on this earlier, but I wanted to tell you again, if you're looking to get a cheap carry piece, and if you're looking to get a cheap Smith and Wesson, and especially one with no internal lock, I would jump on this now, because as good as the Pro Series is, I think it's kind of being replaced. I think they're going to replace it with the Ultimate Carry revolver, and that's why you can find these at such a good price. Sometimes you can find these maybe 400 plus Quatloos, something like that. And for Smith and Wesson, if you guys know Smith and Wessons, that is a excellent price. So I would really consider getting one of these when you can. I have a feeling you're not going to see them around too much longer. They're probably just going to sell out the rest of the stock and then switch to the Ultimate Carry series, which, as I said, it's about 200 Quatloos more. So this would be, especially again, if you're on a budget, or if you're if you're on a prepping budget or survivability budget, grab one of these when you can. All right, folks, that's about all I have for you today. I hope you got something out of this. If you have any questions or comments, if you own a 642, any 642 in the series, post down below. Let me know what you think. If you have any wisdom that you've gained with them over the years, if you have any accessories for the 642, if you have any grips or anything that you like in particular, or any grips for any J frames in particular that you like, again, post those down below. Let us know what you think, and stay tuned, because we are going to get that range footage out as soon as possible. Folks, this is TacNerd. Remember, stay ready, stay prepping, and if you're out there in the wasteland, remember, TacNerd is your friend.